the wisps of white hair that grew straight up on my grandfather's head, thinking if he'd let me, I'd braid them together so they all moved in one direction. How many days did I have like that as a child? 5? 50? I don't know if it matters. Those days soaked into my skin and shaped my preliminary views of the ocean. Untamable, life-giving, life-taking, unconquerable. And how I fit into all of that, I am still trying to work out. Here are some facts about the ocean. It covers approximately 70% of the world we live in and remains largely undiscovered. It is possible that in addition to the more than 200,000 marine species that have been identified, there could be up to 2 million more species that have not been identified. The ocean is pulled by the moon and the sun, and it contains more energy than the rest of the earth several times over. The ocean is simultaneously a place of life and a place of death, a place of light and beauty, and a place of intense darkness. I was both comforted and perturbed by that as I grew older, but I've never stopped being fascinated by this body of water. We have family members who played a role in the evacuation of Dunkirk, the beach made famous for its pivotal role in World War II. Then it was littered with helmets, dark boots, growling stomachs, and hands still fresh with the blood of their enemies and the blood of their friends. The trapped British Army, holders of the world's largest empire a stone throws away from defeat, were surrounded by German troops led by a man no one took seriously on every side. The free world teetered in the arms of boys too young and boys too old, and men who were never made to carry such a weight. The free world was kept on course that day not only by military ships and large machines, but by ordinary people, some in my own family tree, afloat on private vessels and their own courage, sailing into enemy territory not in military uniform, but as ordinary people, to save the face of their army. Maybe the ocean for those soldiers, after they were rescued, was like a safety blanket, protecting them the way a wall would. Maybe before they were rescued, it was also a wall, but one they couldn't penetrate without help. The channel that separated England from the continent worked as a giant moat, buying time and strategy in the face of Hitler's army. Whatever they thought about the ocean, it didn't change the fact about what the ocean actually was. The year after I graduated college, I moved to North Carolina for a postgraduate program and walked through some of the hardest months of my life. I was away from my friends, my family, and my fiancé, and in that year, I experienced death in a way I never had before. It was a year of questioning for me. Why does suffering happen? Why do bad things happen? Is the universe controlled by a good God or by cold chaos? Can I trust God? I finished the program, married my husband 3 weeks later, and flew to a tropical island for our honeymoon. At night, we walked through the sand down to the beach. With no lights around us but the moon and the stars, the sounds of the ocean were amplified. What sounded like gentle waves in the daytime became bigger and scarier, sinister, repetitive slaps at night. The ocean, which had always been a place of inspiration and intrigue for me, suddenly felt only ominous, too capable of doing harm. I had come out of one of the hardest years of my life, a year when my Reformed theology was shaken to its core, and I was scared of dying, scared of living, scared of anything outside my own skin. I was hyper-aware that I was living because of the death around me, and I felt raw, real, in a way I didn't like. I wanted to hide, to medicate, to lose myself in a book or in trivial projects because I could not face anything heavier. What's true of the ocean?